How's the tour going so far?
Really well. Yeah, all three bands are really good match, I think. Makes for a good show for the audience, makes really cool for all of us because we're all kind of, at least I can say that like, I'm really into the other band's music as well. Anathema a new discovery for me, and extremely good stuff. Alcest again, you know, the intense melodies, really beautiful melodies, very good musicians, a very good songwriter. So I'm really enjoying it, and there's so much to say about this tour. So much. I mean, this is our first ever tour in America.
Right.
You know, so it's our first experience. We came here with open minds, without really any expectations, and it surpassed anything that we could have imagined anyway. You know, selling out New York, really good attendances the whole way, amazing response from the crowd. Just to be in this land as well, anyway, it's a surreal experience for us. It's kind of a bit like an, I don't know, it's like being in an old-fashioned road movie, and just meeting people as well has been really easy. Just anyone, you know, people on the road, you know, people in truck stops, people in bars, people anywhere, you know. It was really cool and friendly, like, so it's an eye-opening experience for me.
Let's talk a little bit about your latest album, Weather Systems. Is there a concept behind it in terms of musical lyrics?
There's a few songs that kind of fit together in the concept of you know, the storms of the mind and that kind of thing, you know, that kind of analogy. But it's not a concept album, you know. But then, yeah, a few of those songs were kind of connected to the previous record. And and then there's a few songs which were written later, which were more of a progression forward. So, in a way, it's a great record, really. Given the fact that it wasn't really supposed to be a full-length album, it was just an EP, a collection of songs that were themed around this weather systems thing, and then it grew and grew out of that and into a full record. So it feels so long ago now since we did it. It's a year since it's been out, and I think we were already so far ahead of it, and our minds are already in the next album now. So it's a difficult question to answer. You know, I don't even, you know, I haven't listened to it in a long time.
So you are working on your
always, you know, I listen to, after finishing a record, I'll spend like 2 weeks listening to it. Just, you know, if I'm making sure I'm either happy or not with it. I'm very happy with this one. But after 2 weeks, I stopped listening to it altogether and just more in the connected.
Are you happy about the old Anathema albums? Something like Silent Enigma, you know, there was a breakthrough.
It's a great record.
You still listen to it?
I don't listen to it, but I don't listen to weather systems either, you know. So, you know what I mean?
But does it make you feel weird?
No. Why would it make you feel weird?
Because you don't do black metal stuff.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Do you miss the metal scene of the time?
No.
But it was a good time.
Yeah, it was alright, yeah. Yeah, I don't see it as being a really big deal. The thing was, we were kind of in that thing, and I'm quite proud that like people credit us with creating a sub-genre, if you like it.
Yes.
Sub-genre. That's cool, but you know, even at that time, we were already knew we were going to move away and do different things. It was just obvious to us. Like coming off stage and listening to Piper at the Gate of Dawn or Revolver as your, or you know, as your main records, like there was only ever one way, really. We were never going to do it forever. It's one of the things you do for, you know, it's part of adolescence. You know, but how it's worked out is you just become more honest. You know, so you strip away the layers of bravado and you know, sometimes you have to put on a front, you know, in front of your emotions, you know, especially if you're male, working class, Northern English people like we were, because, you know, showing emotion and being honest about that kind of thing is a sign of weakness, and it'll be passed down from generation to generation, father to son, father to son, father to son. Of people who just swallow it all and don't deal with anything in life, and then they end up taking it out on a Saturday night, you know, in one way or another. But for some reason, our outlet for all of that kind of stuff was our music, and we gradually became more honest with ourselves, and that's when we started to realise that we didn't need to dress everything up so much. All you really needed was the lyric. The lyric will dictate what it needs to be, you know. I mean, if you have a lyric like, I think the first time was around Alternative 4 time. We touched on it in the past, but around Alternative 4, I think that's when we realised that you didn't need to dress up your feelings. In fact, it's better if you don't, and you keep them completely raw. So there's nothing in between you and the listener and what you're trying to get across. You make it more simple and more honest.
At this point in your life, is there a particular album that you can identify yourself with?
From other people?
No, from Anathema.
From Anathema? At this point in my life? No, not really. Probably the next one.
Do you have a song that you enjoy particularly perform live?
Quite a few of them, yeah. But you know, and then there's some songs that I listen to which we don't often play live, but I appreciate what they are and what they are about. So yeah, I've got those as well.
So you also have this DVD live coming out from Universal. Can you tell us something about it?
Well, it's filmed in Bulgaria on in an ancient Roman theatre above a hill. It's in the second city of Bulgaria called Plovdiv, and it's a collaboration between us and the Philharmonic Orchestra. And it was filmed that night with 36 string players, huge production lights, etc. And it was a kind of, you know, it's an ambition fulfilled, really. Going back to like Live at Pompeii, you know, by Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Like seeing that as kids and just imagining like how cool it would be to do something like that. And then in our own way, we've kind of done it, and that's a bit special. So I mean, months and months of preparation, months of planning, huge budget. Thanks to everybody involved. Probably more than 100 people involved in all on the night. So, and then it's all on one take, you know.
Yeah.
Because you've got to. That's why you've got to be prepared, rehearsed, because you can't fuck it up. You only get one shot. You know?
So between live and studio albums, you're always very busy. But do you have any interest besides music? If you get some spare time?
Yeah. Well, everything kind of revolves around music. I'm interested in art. I've always been interested in art in one way or another, and I've always kind of been involved in the artistic side of the band. But now I'm collaborating with a few people that on a few things that involve art and noise, you know. So I'm looking forward to next year, after the next album's finished, so I can concentrate on that for a little while, because that's really interesting to me.
But what made you decide to become a musician?
Decide?
Or it just happened?
Well, we were just kids, you know. We were about, I don't know, we were really about just 15 or something like that, and we were obsessed with music. I think our family members, like uncles and aunties and that, they could see that we were going to be musicians before we did, before we even had any instruments. I actually wanted to be a drummer first of all, but the drums were A, too loud, and B, too expensive. So and yeah, so it was easy. I got a guitar. Just having a guitar, you know, just having that guitar at home and playing it and learning Beatles songs. That's how I started it. And I don't know. I guess just other people felt that we were always going to do it, and then eventually we just gave in.
And now you just
well, we're like, yeah, I mean, like we were two families growing up, you know, like the Cavanas and the Douglases. We've known each other since we were, you know, yeah, I'm just happy.
What do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of obscure underground music that probably the rest of the people in the band don't like. I don't listen to anything successful. It's not that I don't like it or I don't appreciate it. You know, I can always appreciate a good tune. I'm just not into it. I like different kinds of things. I like something I've never heard before. I like people who manipulate sound. I like people who mess with acoustics, as in, you know, natural acoustics, resonance. I like a lot of people who manipulate sound through electronics, and I love, you know, heavy beats and good singers. Something for good singers. Even if I don't like the music, if you're a good singer, I'll like it.
So if you could write an album with somebody else, another artist, who would you choose?
It's a good question. I would probably, I don't know, there's a couple of people really. Well, for a start, Petter Karlsson is this Norwegian singer-songwriter guy. Because he's a really, really good friend of mine. And I think our voices match very, very well. That would be cool. That'd be a cool collaboration. But other than that, I'd probably say something completely out there. Like, I don't even want to say the name of the people.
You can.
No, not really, because you know, I don't think it's right to do that. Like, you know, if you're gonna do something, you should just do it. You know, you shouldn't really talk about it. You know? But Petter Karlsson, that's actually a realistic possibility. So, you know, so I can say that.
Okay. So about Anathema, what are your expectations for the future of the band?
Get better, keep improving, at least in our eyes, and we've got a plan and a schedule for the next record, which we're going to start in December and January, and then that'll come out next year. We continue to work on my own stuff. We've got some really interesting gigs coming up. We're playing in cruise in February, which is the
Bahamas.
Yeah, you know that one?
Yeah.
Progressive Nation at Sea.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds really good, you know. Some of our good friends are on it, you know. Annika van Giersbergen is on it, Devin Townsend. And a band that I've loved since, you know, since I was very young. I was King's X. I've always liked them. And so that's going to be good. And after that, I don't know, I'm going to have a little break, like just a few days, and then get back home, continue to work, and hopefully we can get out to Australia, and who knows, maybe even Japan. The next record will come out, we'll continue to tour. We never really stop.
Yeah.
Because we never really stop writing music. I suppose that's what it's all about, really. It's the music that fuels everything, really. And that's a day-by-day thing. It's not something we can switch off on. We can't just decide, okay, let's do an album now. It's like an everyday thing, so that the songs and the ideas are just building up all the time. So there's got to be a point where you've got to say, okay, are we ready? You know?
So you don't decide how it's going to be the next album?
No, you definitely don't set out with a preconceived idea of what your record's going to be. It's more a case of accumulating loads of ideas as you go anyway, and then it just develops, and sometimes things can happen spontaneously in the studio. There's a couple of, we went to a session a few months back in Portugal where our drummer Daniel lives, and something just came out of nothing there. 3 songs came out of nothing, just of being together and jamming. So that kind of thing's good, and they're definitely going on the next record, so you know, we'll see. Who knows, maybe like by the time, you know, December comes, we'll have something we haven't even written yet, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, that can happen.
work with an open mind.
Yeah, completely. But we're very good now at deciding the track list and what makes it to the record. And even if a song isn't going to make it, it may be just that it just doesn't fit somehow musically, or it could be a tempo thing. It could be the key it's in, even, you know, because the flow of a record is very, very important to us, to create something that you sit down and absorb as a whole, you know, for like the 50 something minutes that it is, you know. And especially in this day and age where people seem to consume music the same way they eat hamburgers, you know. So for us it's not about that, it's about a whole record as an experience. The same way that Dark Side of the Moon is one of those records you can't really only put on money or only put on time. You're going to listen to that record and then just sit back, relax, open the bottom line, whatever you like it, just fucking listen to it, you know, because that's the way it's meant to. And that's the best way you'll get the experience of the record, because each song ties in with one another and they all enhance each other in a way, so that's the way we like to do things.
So you will consider after the new album comes out another tour in US?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is just opening the door for us.
Yeah.
We've been working with the last couple of years, like with a booking agent in New York, who has put together this tour. And it was just a case of just finding the right time, the right kind of package, and when the band wasn't busy in Europe and went not making records and things like that, and everything fell together at the right time for this tour. And I met him while we were playing in New York, and then we can now talk about coming back and when and how, with whom, and how it all goes. But this is just the beginning.